Good afternoon, guys and gals. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm in another different car today. Can you guess what it is? Well, anybody who recognises these seats knows that this is a Vectra B GSi. Now, if you saw the video that I posted the other day, that was of me driving this car, but it was an old video. It was a video from several years ago, and I didn't realise how long ago it was, but the MOT actually expired on this car the 6th of March 2017. So that video was at least 2017 and possibly the year before, possibly 2016. So basically that video was an old video. I did it on one of my old phones and it was on my old tablet, and I decided to upload it the other day as a little bit of inspiration to try and coax myself on to actually getting this car sorted. Now, you might notice that the back window looks a bit dark. That's because I have got a cover on the car. I've just peeled it back so that I could see what state the car is in. It's been under the cover for quite a while. The reason, now I know a lot of people straight away will say, never put a car under a car cover because it makes them rust worse, it makes them keep damp, and it's the worst thing you can possibly do. But the reason I had the car cover on this is because it was absolutely pissing water in. Water were coming in. The front passenger footwell was absolutely swimming in water. It were absolutely swimming. So the cover went on to actually stop the water coming in. That's the only reason I decided in the end to put the cover on. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a little look around it, and ultimately I'm going to start it up. But I'm going to do the startup on a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Please do like the channel, please do subscribe, and stick around for more. So I shall see you shortly. We'll have a little look around it, see what it's like. Right, guys, so let's start on the inside of the car. So that's where I got the carpet peeled up, where it was absolutely soddened. And as I said, that's the reason that the car was covered up, because it was absolutely pissing water into the passenger footwell. But thankfully, because I have had it covered up, it's absolutely bone dry. Now, before, the inside of the car was getting very, very mouldy because of how damp it was. Now, this time round, there are the odd little patches of mould, but it is a million times better than it was the previous time. The previous time, the whole interior was just green with mould. Honestly, it were absolutely minging. It has got some in places, like I say, there's plastic on the armrest, on the door panel there, but compared to what it was like the previous time, it just shows that actually having the cover on the car, stopping the water get in, has actually made a massive difference to keeping the inside in good condition. So there you go, that's proof that sometimes having a cover on is a good thing. Now, one thing I have noticed, there's absolutely thousands of cobwebs, so the spiders have been getting in. I mean, look at the cobwebs there in that corner. That is just pretty minging. In fact, I've just put my hand straight through that cobweb. So yeah, the spiders have been loving it. Right, let's have a look around the outside. Right, guys, let's look around the outside of the car. So, the car already had some bubbles of rust on it when I put it under the cover. And from what I can see so far, it hasn't actually got any worse. There's a little bit of bubble of rust there on the front wing. That was always there. Plenty of surface dust, surface rust, I should say, on the discs, but that's to be expected. The doors at this side certainly look the same as they did when I covered it up. The roof looks fine. The bonnet's just dusty, really. But if I'm absolutely honest, I don't think the car was particularly clean when I covered it up. Now, this is one of the reasons why I covered it up, because it's under the conifer. The car was absolutely getting covered in all the conifer crap. Now, this at this side has actually got under here because the cover has split. It was actually ripped at this side, so unfortunately this side has still allowed the conifer leaves to get in. Compare it to that side where there's no conifer leaves. There he is, the mighty V6. Now, the front bumper had at some point been repainted, and I think the front wings had been replaced at some point. I don't think they're the originals. Go down this side, and I say it's just very, very, very dusty. But I say, when I covered it up, if I'm honest. I didn't actually clean it. It is a little bit buried at this side in all the stuff from when I've cut my hedgerow. It's all kind of built up all around this wheel. Now this is one of the worst bits of rust, but again, it doesn't look like it's got any worse than it was. That's just dirt on the bottom of the door. That wheel arch doesn't seem to have got any worse than it was. That's what it was like. Coming down here, this is one of the worst bits that needs welding, this end piece of this sill. They were brand new discs and pads and shoes, but they're very covered in surface rust. But again, I've cleaned up a lot worse before. But yeah, this is one of the problems. See, it's kind of starting to get a little bit buried down this side, because these are all the cuttings from when I've cut my privet, and I've just kind of left them here to rot down. And unfortunately, yeah, it might be making the car worse. There is some little bits of rust in the corners of the doors, but that was always there before anyway. And this is why I suspect that the front wings are original, because see, at this side it don't fit quite right. It's just not sat in right. So I think at some point it might have had new front wings, but I don't know. I can't really see the back because I've still got half the cover on, but let's see what I can uncover. Nothing to see around the back of there really. See if I can get round from the other side. That's the reason the car makes so much noise on the video I did the other day. That induction kit, it just makes an absolutely awesome growl. Let's have a look at this back wheel arch. So again, this arch is no worse than it was. Only surface rust, only pretty superficial. It has had some paintwork there in the past, which is why it's really dull. Bubble of rust on that door, but again, that was there before, so it's no worse than it was. Most of that's all past it. Again, one of the new discs. I'm saying new about 4 years ago, I think. So there we go. So the next video is going to be me starting it up, so stick around for that. Just show you another view of the interior coming in. So it has actually stayed in pretty clean condition. As I said, the interior was very mouldy, and I managed to get it pretty clean. As I said, some mould has come back, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. So there we go, guys. So next video is going to be me starting it up. First time in probably maybe 3 years. Probably 3 years since I last started it up, I guess. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Catch you later.